Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Communities Live here on Sheffield Live 93.2 FM. And we have a very special guest here today. We have Olympic legend Dame Kelly Holmes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, for our listeners at home, we're talking about the menopause, and I've read in the report that 1 in 4 women are considered leaving their jobs due to menopause. Now, that is a staggering amount. So, what can businesses do to prevent this?
Well, businesses can absolutely support women by putting policies in place that allow women to feel supported and heard in the workplace. And by putting in these policies, it will enable the females in particular to get a support network, understand how they can approach employers, know what the employers have put in place in terms of any occupational therapy support, maybe free counselling, or actually guidance and support to their GPs, etc. I just feel that, you said 1 in 4 considered leaving jobs. I know of many women that over the past that absolutely have left their job because they didn't know, one, what they were going through. They felt that sometimes they might have been losing the plot, and they get this anxiety and brain fog and thought it was all connected only to mental health, which absolutely some could be, but some could absolutely be supported by the understanding that it's a hormonal change in the body, and I think that that's where we need to be talking at the moment. So I'm working with Lima, who have created free menopause guide for employers and women in business, which would then help develop these policies.
You say there's Lena is working with you on this with menopause. Outside of digital information, is there can people get physical copies of the information?
So you can download, you can go online, you can go on and get the support, which obviously is the first thing, is to be able to see where you can get support. And there's a supplement MOT hotline that was established years ago for women with the menopause. So it's kind of it gives a service through their concierge. But if what we want to do is basically get the organizations and companies in particular to create these policies, and Lima has created a free menopause guide for employers. So that's how it would be dealt with, really. But I think what it is about you at the moment now talking to me, and me being hopefully a voice that can help women say that you're not alone, to help listeners realize that by 2025, 1 billion women are going to be getting the symptoms of peri and menopause, yet it still gets ignored by employers. It gets misdiagnosed sometimes doctors or medics are prescribing the wrong kind of treatment because they don't associate it to the menopause. So I think it is about conversation, getting messages out there. And also, one of the things, I was in denial, I'm in denial of age. I'm still 39, just with a few pluses now, and plus a lot, and 14 for anyone that really wants to work out the maths. And I didn't know what perimenopause was. I didn't know that I'd have to not have a period for 1 year to then be classed as menopause, and that menopausal symptoms could be years and years coming, and they would include brain fog, signs of anxiety, obviously hormonal imbalance galore. It would affect your sleep patterns. You might get hot sweats and flushes, and so many, over 40 symptoms. And who would have thought? No one, until we get this conversation. And I think you need to know that you're not alone.
1 billion women who's going to go through menopause, or up to 1 billion women, should I say, in
1 billion, yeah,
2025.
1 billion women by
It's
2025
unbelievable.
will go through menopause.
It's unbelievable. I mean, that is a staggering amount.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We're 50% of the population. We're all going to go through perimenopause and menopause. So we all then still have to work. We go through our work lives. And then when we get into our work lives and we hit, our prime where we want to be, really motivated and dedicated to a job and see our rise. And yet we have all these uncontrollable symptoms, and yet we then don't have a place to go in our employees and actually say to them, look, I'm struggling right now,
Yeah.
and I'm struggling because I haven't slept all night, or I'm struggling because I'm feeling so anxious but I can't control that anxiety, or I'm getting hot sweats and yet it's embarrassing in work and I can't regulate the temperature. These are things that we should be able to have an honest conversation with people in our workplace, but still there's still a taboo. So I think if we can change that taboo, we can have networks in place, policies in place, leaders in place, champions in place, and women supporting women more. This is how we will start to make a difference.
I mean, I've got to ask, I mean, outside of business as well, I mean, what can the public do more to make menopause more aware?
Well, things like this, you've given me this platform, people in the public eye talking. Davina McCall's massive advocate of it, Louise Mitchkin, the BBC presenter, news presenter, I'll say, and many other people are starting to talk about it now. And, I go around the world and I speak to lots of corporates, and there are some that are really pro making a difference to their workforce. But just unfortunately, the conversation on menopause has only really hit the headlines in the past sort of couple of years. Whereas for every year before us, for centuries, women have had to deal with this. And, because I've been involved with this now for quite a few months, well, this year, where I started suddenly sort of held my hand up and say, look, this is affecting me. And people have seen me as this world-class international Olympic champion, full of health. They still think I'm 20 when they try and race against me at a park run. And I'm like, look, I'm not the person anymore. Yeah, I still want to be strong. I still want to be good at what I do, but I have suffered over the past few months. I don't feel as strong as I normally am, even though I keep fit. I try to keep fit because it does help my mental health. I can't do all the things that I used to do because of the body pains, but I'm alleviating them now by doing the things I'm doing. So I started taking supplementation, hence why I got involved with Lima, because I wanted credible supplements. I wanted those that have been regulated, those that have really been validated properly, because I know that if I'm going to make a kind of a supplement addition to my body, that it's got to be one that's going to make a difference to the issues I get. And I think that's the thing. It's kind of like, how do you get this extra support? And you can only get it by hearing about it, and then knowing that there are avenues to take. So yes, some women go on HRT. That will absolutely work for some, and they find alleviation of their symptoms. Some can't take it for health reasons, and I've stopped taking it because I didn't feel it was making a difference. If I go back on it, maybe I will at some stage, I don't know, but I've gone down the supplement route, but I need good supplements. And that's what I feel at the moment. And also changing my environment in my bedroom, having more blackout curtains, sleep sprays, looking at the sort of fabrics that I use. I'm doing things to help eliminate those symptoms that I get, but a lot of women don't know where to start. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this today.
It's unbelievable. I mean, as you say, it's been an issue. It's been an issue for over centuries ago, and then it's just now that we actually started to be more aware of it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, we say 1 in 4 people, 1 in 4 women are considering leaving their jobs. That is actually true, and that is the stats. But there's also been many that have lost their jobs and left their jobs. And what you're doing then is you are, kind of losing this huge talent pool of women who actually can thrive and make a business so brilliant because of different heads, different, diversities. And unfortunately, women don't know where to turn, don't know who to speak to. It's embarrassing bringing up these conversations if it's not an open forum within your organization. And to stop the stigma, I mean, the taboo of not talking about it, the stigma of having it, we just got to alleviate that. It's a human response to being a female, that it's a natural response. This is going to happen to us. I didn't know about it. I never heard about it. And when I was growing up, I used to always think it only happened to your mother who's old. That was your oppression. Well, that's not true, because people as early as late 30s can have symptoms. Mid 40s to mid 50s is the average age. 51 is actually the average age, but you can have it between 40 and 60 is a real known age for menopause. And can you imagine how many women that's affecting? Wow.
No, you can't really. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, we're coming near to the end of our time now, Dame Kelly. So my last question to you is, what would you like to say to our listeners who is listening to how to handle the menopause, and what advice would you give?
Okay, so firstly, to know you're not alone. Secondly, know that there is support out there. Thirdly, for employees to please get these policies in place. If you go on lima.life, there's information around the menopause guides for employees. There's information on MOTs and supplements for individuals that they can get supported with. And to know that we've got to keep talking, got to keep supporting, so we break down these barriers, and it will help so many people in their lives.
Dame Kelly, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.